Wow, that's weird. Right when I said that, the music said disappear. Yeah. Yeah, this desire for some kind of threat to always be looming, looming, looming threat. Okay. Um. What do what do I do with that?
Ask Jesus, he'll tell you.
What do I do with that? He says that to just be with that feeling and see that nothing happens. The looming, it just looms. That's it. It doesn't. Nothing happens. So just to look directly and see. Oh wow, yeah. Oh, I thought he meant like get off the phone and kind of sit around. No, that's not what he meant. He just meant see it now. See it now. Yeah. So there's the looming feeling. Oh, and then is anything happening? No. Nothing's happening. Oh my gosh! Wow. Oh wow! Whoa.
So ask him about the joining. Is it your function to join right now?
Yes. Yes. And the the ways to hide from that is running out. That's why the looming feeling, because the ways in which one could hide from the joining are are like running out. Yeah. Yeah. Because they do run out. It's not infinite. It is finite. There is only a limited amount of ways to hide from the light. Yeah. Especially for one who desires the truth. Yep. Because if I didn't desire the truth, I'm sure I could find a million different ways to hide from the light. And that would be okay, but I desire the truth.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I desire, yes. Yeah. I desire the peace of God, peace
Yes.
of mind. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just feels like it's your function, Elliot. Just hear this voice and speak it. And the joining lets you practice that so that you don't it lowers the resistance to our natural
Oh,
voice.
it lets me practice that. Oh, you're right. Yeah. Oh, wow. I don't know why I didn't see it like that before. Oh, wow. I feel like I'm gonna a little tear, but then it never came. But that's okay.
Because it's you're letting
Oh,
you live
wow.
your function. That's why the
Yeah.
ego resists joining so badly, because it's the light training to live our function.
That's why I sent that message yesterday where I was like, "Help! I
Yes.
want to join, but I can't seem to do it. What's going on here?"
Yes.
Yeah.
And what does Jesus say about that?
He says, when that happens, just go to the messenger group and just be in the energy, be in the joining there, and if possible, ask if someone is willing to join.
Yes.
And then if neither of those things are what are to happen, then life will redirect them to whatever it is that is needing to happen. But to not worry about it, because as long as the desire is there, the desire to speak the one voice, then there's nothing to worry about. So it's not really about getting attached to joining,
Yes.
although that obviously is very helpful. And it's not about trying to not join, like trying to avoid joining all the time. It's about just going to the group and then being still. Yeah. And then the true desire will arise and make itself known, which is to keep the voice and to join and to be the light. Yeah.
Yeah, and
There's no reason to be afraid of it. Yeah. What were you going to say?
no, I was just going to say too, and there's, like he's saying, there's so many different ways. There, just jump a light circle, or
Yeah.
there's just so many ways that we can celebrate divinity.
Yes. Yeah. Look. Wait. Where is it? Oh.
Yes. I took a picture, so I'm sending you a screenshot of the light coming out of your head, Elliot.
Aww.
It was just so adorable talking to you.
It's funny, I found myself sitting here during one of the live sessions too, and this beaming light behind me, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. It's funny too, because I was like, well, I don't want to draw too much attention to myself. but the attention is being drawn to the light, not me. Right? I mean, I just happened to sit here. Yeah. Um, there's definitely some stuff coming up around like money. It's very interesting because I have this story that like, oh, if I just had some money, like everything would be a little bit better. And it's funny because it's like, I know that's not really true because I have had money before and it didn't make things a little bit better. It was the same. So there's some kind of weird story that it's just an ego story.
So
Yeah.
what is Jesus? Let Jesus reinterpret it for you.
Just a distractor device. Yeah.
It's so easy. Just yeah.
Yeah. It's like he showed me the red button. You know the red button you're not supposed to push?
Which red button?
Like, you know how in cartoons there's like the red button and it's like, don't push the red button. Like, the red button is the light and the ego is like, don't push it. Don't push the red button. Don't push. Yeah, I see that so much. It's like trying to say, if you push this red button, then I can't help you. Actually, it's really funny because in Mr. Robot, after Elliot realized what happened to him, Mr. Robot, who was an imaginary friend of his, who supposedly helped him, he said, I can't protect you anymore. Because once he realized that his dad was his friend, the ego couldn't, like, create an illusion anymore. So, it's the same thing here. The ego is trying to make a reason not to turn to the light. It just keeps doing that. It's yeah, it just keeps doing that. That's all. That's it. That's all it does over and over. Trying to create distraction, reasons to not be in the light. Wow. Reasons to not put our grievances into the light. Yeah. It just keeps doing that. Oh, this new practice. Oh, this book, this thing, this, all this. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So, he says, when a belief comes that something that you don't have, you should have, or you're supposed to have, just remember, it's just a distraction. It's just a distraction from the light. It's because it's all that the ego has. It's all that it has. It's all it can do is just try to make you listen to its voice. Yeah. Yeah. It's trying to make you listen to its voice. Wow. So how do we recognize the difference enough that we don't have to keep doing that?
Oh, ask Jesus.
It's a really good one, huh? Wow. He says that it's always an unkind voice. It's an accusatory voice. It's not a laid back, laughing, humble voice. It's very uptight. Wow, uptight. Whoa, that one really got me. Because it's this uptight voice. Yeah. And he says, don't tell it what it is, already knows it is. Just point to the light. So there might be a temptation to tell someone that they're speaking with an uptight voice. Don't do that. Just be the light. Just point to the light. Yeah. That's not, it won't, it's like adding fuel to a fire, the ego fire, and it just keeps making it bigger. That's why we have to turn towards what isn't. We have to do the opposite of throwing gasoline on the fire. The living waters. We gotta pour the living waters on that fire. Yeah. Because it tries to convince us that to put it out we gotta put more gasoline on it. Yeah. But how I can still tell there's something there trying to like divert my attention because
Does Jesus?
It seems like this is really simple.
Yes.
Simple. Yeah.
So is Jesus saying you have to listen to the other voice?
No. No, I do not. Does the light listen to that voice? No. Does that voice have to be like destroyed? No.
Just see who it's creating
No.
it, the miscreation. See that it's a desired experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It's like a accuser is helpful, but for some reason he says that because that word's a little bit archaic, it can have a little bit difficulty catching it. This is he says give it up. Just don't even try. Don't try to recognize the difference. Just feel the difference. One of them feels like God, one of them feels like the ego. It's really simple. One of them feels light because it's light. And one of them feels like not light. And that's also an illusion. Yeah, because there's only one voice. Actually, basically, he says anything that would desire that there's two voices, that's the ego. Anything that would desire there's two voices, or two minds, or two anything. Yeah. Even the number 2 isn't 2 because it's just 1. Whoa. Because I see the number 2 a lot, and I was thinking, is that the ego trying to convince me? And then I was thinking, well, no, not really, because 2 is just one number. So this belief or this addiction to being divided, it's like the dead giveaway that it's ego. Addiction to being divided. Oh, addiction to being divided. Wow. Wow, that one is... Wow. Whoa. It's hard to buy into that story when you realize that it's the ego that is perpetuating it to be divided. Wow. The light isn't divided. It doesn't divide, multiply, add, or subtract. It simply is one voice. Yeah. One light. Yep. And it's not religious. It's just honest. It's just honest. It's not religious. It's just honest. If it was religious, then it would be divided. Yep. It would be divided. Because it would be like only these things and not those things. Rule, like a rule book. But it's not. It's not divided. Wow. Yeah. Whew. Seems like there's something that really doesn't want to believe that.
There's a desire for an experience for that not to be true. But you can ask Jesus about it. He'll show it to you.
Well, he says it's because the ego can't understand it. Yeah. But he says this is the same as what Eckhart Tolle walks in, what Muji walks in. This is the undivided. Yeah. You're not feeling like where you are is where you shouldn't be. That story falls away. This is what everybody is seeking, just to be not divided. It's not a special thing. It's already true for everyone. Wow. He says the real addiction is the desire to not have new things come up. So when we become addicted to not having anything new come up, then we want to avoid the light because we think that when something new comes up that we've failed. We keep dreaming of a time when we'll be undivided forever, but for the time being, we're in consciousness. Everything is consciousness. And it's all the light. So that fantasy is the thing that is being held on to. That someday there will be no consciousness. That's kind of funny because it isn't really consciousness that is the problem. It's just the idea that being divided is somehow useful or that it serves us.
Yes.
So
Its salvation lies in splitting up of consciousness into fragments.
yeah, the tiny mad idea is somehow serving us. That it's
Salvation.
that it's serving a yeah. Wow, yeah. I can feel how something has been uprooted because when the mind tries to go in that direction, it can't. There's nothing there. Wow. So the light didn't come here to divide. The light came here to show that all is already undivided. And it's so true because how could I sit and listen to a piece of music and feel okay about it? Everything that piece of music is made out of is variations in tone and pauses, and that's what makes the music. And it's not harming me. Yeah, it's just music. Music. Everything is like that. Music. It's just the music of the one voice. Wow. What a relief.
That's the power of letting Jesus speak to us.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's real. It can be really simple at times. It's not. Doesn't have to be really wordy or complicated. It's where it's coming from. It's where it's coming from.
Yes. Yes. And that's the simple part, where it comes from.
Otherwise, how could we watch a film with the Holy Spirit and then connect with the truth through that? Or read a poem or listen to music or anything? We would always be afraid that something would infiltrate or something like that. Wait, I gotta ask Jesus about that because there's this feeling of like, He says, although there may at times seem to be an experience of a certain piece of information or a movie or something infiltrating, so to speak, the only one that thinks that infiltrating is happening is the ego. It's just the ego. There isn't anything else. So you can already rest easy knowing that it's imaginary. The ego is imaginary.
Just my imagination once again, running away with me.
Yep.
That's
Just my imagination running away with me.
beautiful.
It's amazing when it, when it gets brought back to something that doesn't really have any specialness in it. It's just a song that lots of people know, and yet there's, when you listen with the heart, with the light, wow. So it's really about listening with the light, no matter what is going on. So whether it's joining, watching a movie, or listening to a piece of music, listening with the light. Yeah. I remember I learned that from David Hoffmeister with his Movie Watcher's Guide to Enlightenment. That was amazing. Because it was basically like God saying, it's okay. These worldly things, they too can be used to illustrate what is the truth and what is not. Yeah. So we're safe. We're safe in God. Thank you.
Oh, Elliot, so beautiful. So I actually thought for about the last, I don't know how many minutes, but I did record it, so I'll put it up and share it with you so you can see how beautiful it is.
Sure. Yeah.
Really beautiful.
Fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
Love you too. Love and blessings.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So thankful.